You ever been so high that you get distracted by yourself in the camera? Yeah, me neither. Except just a minute ago. It was kind of funny. I got like distracted by my own hair. Now I can't find my dab pin, which probably means that it's gone forever. Hi, welcome to the show. I'm now predicting that Biden is going to resign. I'm not saying right now, but like between now and the next presidential election, Joe Biden is going to resign. It's going to be Kamala Harris versus Trump. Kamala Harris is going to lose. Trump's going to win. And I don't know what happens after that. This is some shit that's going to trigger civil wars. Like every fucking scenario that we ever fucking ran through talking with E Honda and Never Enough Ammo and all the doofuses, every fucking scenario where Kamala Harris became president ended in civil war. Looks like Florida and Texas are kind of on their way to seceding anyway. I think basically most of the states that went for Trump in the last election are kind of fed the fuck up. I know I am. I mean, I did think about voting for Kanye West for about 10 minutes, but then I did vote for Donald Trump. You know, I wanted to vote for Kanye West, but I couldn't because like somehow I thought it would matter at some point. And like Kanye is the meme vote. Honestly, I think we would be in a better position right now if Kanye was president. And that's just because there would be someone who wasn't involved in any of their bullshit going, okay, now why are we doing this? Explain it to me real slow. Okay, we're not doing that anymore. Okay, next one. That's what needs to be done. And I would take Kanye doing that because you know he would. He's a crazy asshole. He'd micromanage everything and take the federal government to task one item at a time as to whether this is something, that we're even should be doing. Like, please. If that's what he really wants, yes, please. If his motivations are to commit crimes in the office like Joe Biden, well, yeah. I think what we see here is what I say when I say the Democrats always accuse their enemies of doing what they end up doing. It's because in their mind, Trump did all of those things. They're convinced of that. So then they're like, turnabout's fair play. And they do all of those things. And then there's a shitload of proof of it because they actually did it. And Trump never did. This is going to come back to bite all of these people in the ass so hard. Like right now, not so much. But if the House goes Republican and then we win the presidency, shit's going to get real for these people. That's what's going to cause a civil war right there. I don't think our side's going to start it. I think their side's going to start it when Trump gets reelected. That is now my prediction. Because no one's going to vote for Kamala Harris. Nobody likes her. She's the most unpopular person on the planet. She was chosen to start a fucking war, I think. Like she was really chosen to be the person that would make sure Joe Biden didn't get shot. That's really what she is. That's exactly what Pence was. It's exactly what Joe Biden was for Barack Obama too. Like it's sad that in reality Joe Biden was the sanest choice of the Democrats. I agree with them. Of the people that they put out there, Joe Biden is the sanest one. At that last, thing where they pretended to choose a candidate. Just like look at the other candidates on that stage. They were like Kamala Harris and more Kamala Harris in different shapes, forms, and colors. Like, they're all the same person. They're a piece of shit human being that has sold their soul to Satan for some reason. It doesn't matter what color you are if you don't have a soul. That's my thoughts on this. Also, Kamala Harris is a slave owning bitch. Okay? And fuck it, I'll say it. I'm from the South. My family probably owned some slaves. And I feel bad about that. And I have let some very, very perverted things happen to me in exchange for several things. What would it be like? Letters saying that I have paid my dues or whatever from these gentlemen. I've had several boyfriends that were African American, and we always discussed this at length. And some of those were like the most interesting discussions ever. Like, it's bad pillow talk, I know, but it is like the fucking elephant in the room, isn't it? Like, I like African American men. I think it's a travesty what happened to all of them. I don't know what should be done about that. I don't think reparations payments fix that. I think in reality, our system is fucked to the point now where we could break it down and have something new formed. It's not going to be better. It won't be better. And that's what's going to cause the fucking war. I think all of this is just, it's the orchestrated takedown of America by foreign money. They want a go at the fucking globe again. People are tired of living in the 21st century. Putin very clearly wants to live in like the 18th century, maybe even 19th century. He wants a Russian empire. He'd like to have Alaska back. Like, some real crazy shit. He's realizing now that, like, you can learn to do anything, basically. Go pay people to come and build your shit. Territory is impossible to fucking make up for, and Russia is missing key parts of its strategic power for ever being a world power. And that's not Alaska really, but that is like Ukraine and Kazakhstan and a couple other places. Like their breadbasket there in Asia. That's they need that back for various reasons. The first one is, like I said, it's a breadbasket. The second one is petroleum is all over that area of the world, and the more of it they have, is more money for them. And then there's the best reason. Russia will never believe that the Europeans don't want a war. Never gonna happen. There were several olive branches made in those areas after World War II, then in the 70s and 80s. And basically, NATO spat at the Russians at every turn because they're our enemy. This is the nature of this now. It's been that for too long. We don't get along. We are living in a bipolar world right now again. We are not living in the United States is the only superpower. I would say right now we have three superpowers on the planet, and the United States is still one of them. But our own fucking around has downgraded us from being this godlike thing like we were before to being like a major European power was before World War II. Like, we're powerful. There's things we can do, but we can't project power like we once did. Not without major political and military changes. And basically, they have a good decade now to do whatever the fuck they want. And they know it. We're not in shape to fight anybody. Our military just had anybody that was worth fucking having leave and then decide not to join if they hadn't joined yet. In my mind, anyone who would say yes to that vaccine isn't even worth having. We're all gonna fucking die. I know that's a dark thought, but like, this is the thing that keeps occurring to me more and more, is that this is the end, my friends, the end. It's half of why I started fucking just doing whatever the fuck I wanted. You know, pretty much I do. There's a couple of things I'd like to do. Like, I don't do enough cocaine to kill fucking a cow every day. I don't, have a house full of hookers. But that's like, in my mind, bonus money. And like, really, I could have a house full of hookers if I wanted to. Like, Ray Ray's pirate themed whorehouse is coming soon to an apocalypse near you. Ray Ray provides a very safe working environment, and yeah, will literally fuck people up if you tell them to. Uh, it's one of the things. I don't want to be a pimp, but I am kind of a hoe, and I am going to need a safe work environment. And when I create one of those for me, it's going to attract other women, and that's how Ray Ray's pirate themed whorehouse gets started. Just like, that's like a no brainer in my mind. I'm going to still be doing what I'm doing. Like, that's the thing that watching Red Sun made me realize, is that's the thing to take away from the samurai. It's like, okay, you do you. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You can shoot your little cowboy revolver all you want. I'm going to cut your head off. Going to. That's one of those, like, I'm not saying that that's in the here and now, but as soon as these fucks are gone, as soon as there's no police force to call, yeah, I think I'll do what I please. Especially when I have like an army of, you know, men that like to visit my establishment. Which, once it's me and like 80 hot bitches that don't want to die, I think that'll be easy. We got us some fine ass bitches. I watched Predators last night as I was trying to fall asleep. I watched it all the way through. I couldn't turn it off. I forgot how much I liked that movie. That is legitimately one of my favorite Predator movies. They're all my favorites except for the horrible ones. And even like Requiem, there was some things about it pointed out to me that were cool. Oh, AVP Requiem is a horrible movie, but like, the Predator tech shown in it is cool. And it expanded the video games. And I'm like, yeah, but it still sucked. Anyway, Predators though, god damn. I That is the Predator sequel that I always wanted, except they fucked up on one thing. Lawrence Fishburne should have been Danny Glover, and that should have been no matter what it took. If it took dump trucks of fucking money, you did that, and you kept it a fucking secret because that is going to create some viral shit when they're like, fucking Danny Glover is in the Predator. Especially if he like leads their little team for a while and then dies in a duel with one of them. You change that character up a little bit and make it a hero and not someone who's just trying to like take their shit. Like that's the thing I think you need to realize in the end of the world is that there's going to be some people like that are like they've smiggled up. That's what he did in in Predators. Nolan, he was the guy that was stuck on the Predator planet for forever. Irish. It's the channel is Hibernia's Son. Used to talk about this years ago. And the thing that he would talk about is if you really want to survive something, you smiggle up. You find someplace really, really good to fucking hide, and all you do every day is stay in there and sleep, and then at night you go out and find everything you can fucking steal and you bring it down there. That's what that guy was doing. And as you can see from him, you go crazy doing that. I'm to an extent kind of smiggled up right now, but like, you know, we're in some sort of pandemic like apocalypse and I don't really know. That seems like a good move at the now. But like that's not my plan for forever, right? Like you can't just fucking Smeagol up because Smeagol eventually turns into fucking Gollum. That's where that name comes from. In case you didn't catch that, that's Lord of the Rings. That's why Hibernia's Son is fucking awesome. Uh, I've talked about him before. He has a whole channel. His ex Green Beret that was in the Coast Guard after that, and talks about this kind of stuff. If you like this kind of stuff, the kind of end of the world, like running through scenarios and things that could go wrong and things that do go wrong and how to handle things. He is like an expert and he has 2,000 videos on that subject. It's Hibernia Sun, all one word. I used to listen to that guy all the time. Back around the time I met Matt, he was one of the guys in that circle of people. There's a few others from that you should probably go watch, like the Haas USMC has good videos. Um, Hashnasi is now Ham Radio Crash Course. His videos are nerdy as fuck and completely not applicable to anything we do. But if you would like radio information, he knows everything. And his buddy is not a Rubicon guy. His channel is kind of like more what I think I need anyway. That is, some like just GMRS radios to talk to family in the end of the world. So those are all good. I'm trying to think of other preparedness type channels to watch. Uh, I said the other day, Nuttin' Fancy. I know he's long winded, and I know he's kind of a nerd, but I honestly I grew up watching Nuttin' Fancy, and I kind of like it. So if you can manage to sit through Nuttin' Fancy's systems videos and see what he's doing and why, it'll at least give you ideas on what you should do. I don't copy any of his shit because it's fucking mental. Just to put it out there, like I used to be that way. That's what cracks me up is I used to be that organized and have a fanny pack with 18 different pockets with all these different things in it. And like that's one way to be. Now I have a giant bag with a zipper on it and I throw all my shit in it and I zip it closed and I throw it in my purse. Seems like a much better way to be. I'm, like nothing fancy minus like the frills, I guess. I don't know. He's more of a girl than I am. Somehow. I don't know how that is. That's one of the things I always liked about nothing fancy is like it's not that he is a woman, but like he is comfortable enough in his masculinity to say or do whatever the fuck he wants, and it's very clear. And I like that about him. Also, I have a thing for knives. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but like I could listen to a lot of people talk about knives for hours. He's one of them. Him and Cutlery Lover, for some reason, like I think those were like the best of what was on that first generation of YouTube. So those are the ones I started watching. And stuff other than them, I don't really subscribe to other than like maybe Blade HQ or something like that. Not Knife Center. Knife Center makes good videos on knives. And if you want knife preparedness kind of stuff, I would recommend Dave Canterbury. That's Pathfinder Outdoors or whatever he goes by. I'm sure everyone is familiar with him. I've always really liked him and Cody Lundeen and Les Stroud and all of those people from back then. I even enjoyed watching Bear Grylls because he's a psycho, but I knew that was fake the entire time. I was sitting there as a kid watching those shows and going, "Man, look at this. Les Stroud is really out there. Like he's not eating. You can tell. He looks like he's about to die." And then Dual Survive. No, which one came next? I don't remember which one came next. I think it was Man versus Wild. But I was like, this looks like somebody watched Survivor Man and then was like, okay, let's find some places with good hotels and good jungle, guys, and let's make us some television. Seriously. And then Dual Survivor came out, and I'm like, Dual Survival, sorry, came out, and I was like, I already watched Dave Canterbury on YouTube. I had already owned Cody Lundeen's book. So that show caught my interest along with a lot of other people. And the first two seasons of that are like some of the best survival education TV I think ever made. But it is fake. Cody and Dave aren't allowed to tell you that. Cody, in particular, would tell you that if he was allowed to, because he'd like to call bullshit on that entire fucking show. But because of non disclosure agreements he signed, he can't. And I'm telling you that because I don't know Cody at all from Adam. I've never spoken to him once at all in my life, but I'm a fucking anthropologist and I can read between the lines when people talk, and I'm real good at it. And what I told you there, Cody Lundeen would be like, thanks, brother. I can't say that shit. I can't say that Discovery's run by a bunch of fucking pricks. Like, Les Stroud would tell you that too. And I don't think he's held by as many NDAs. So if you want to know more about why Cody doesn't like Discovery, go watch Les Stroud for a while. And that's another one. He has done so many videos on YouTube now. He put his whole catalog on YouTube. I guess he got AdSense or something. He's just like, fuck it. It's free. Enjoy. I sell DVDs of it if you want that. And like, I love that. It's made me fall in love with Les Stroud kind of all over again, really. And maybe that's why I'm getting back into multi tools because, like, watching those shows, it's very apparent how much you would use your pocket tools in any sort of survival situation. And it's been a while since I've thought about needing pocket tools because I know this sounds wrong, but I've been somewhere in between a blacksmith working in a shop full of tools that did not need a Leatherman and a housewife that did not need a Leatherman for the past forever. I bounce back and forth. Some of us are multi-talented and cute. Like, I don't know. I'm starting to like actually like me and like the way I look, and it's kind of nice. If I could just find someone to date long term that liked me, that wasn't a complete and total drug addicted psycho, which I know you're saying pot kettle, but I guess there can only be one of us. Um, I'm not really drug addicted. I just like to smoke weed. I'm like, I know that's like, well, that is a drug, but like, it is not a drug compared to Xanax, crystal meth, and cocaine or whatever. Like, those are drugs. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone steal bicycles to buy weed ever. I have seen people suck dick for weed, but that's just because guys don't realize that girls like to suck dick and that if you'll give them a bunch of shit for it, it's like, yeah. So, like, if you've crossed the intersection of I'm attracted to you, you have a nice penis, and you're willing to do things for me, there's a lot of women that would suck your dick. I think that's like a message that women should put out there more. I am good at sucking dick and will suck your dick in exchange for these services. I'm looking for a husband. I think they'd have better luck. Like, really? I think most men at the end of the day would really just like to get their dick sucked and fuck every day. There's other shit too. They probably really like a lot of things that are fucked up, but like I think across the board, that's a common thing. Like, I've never understood women's attitude towards sex at all. Like, there's this fucked up like relationship that men and women have, that whenever I talk to a man or a woman, they impress whatever this is that they have, this disease, onto our conversation. And I think this is the stuff that the left is like about your whole like the way you talk about everything. That's why they're wanting you to use different pronouns and shit. And like some of that's just being a controlling asshole. Some of it's psychos being psychos, and some of it's like I don't think it's an unreasonable thing to call me she. I look more like a girl than one of the girls that I dated that had a vagina. Like my girlfriend Tiffany, I hope she doesn't hear this, but she's uglier than fuck. Okay? I date people for love. And I met her and liked her and made her orgasm so hard she squirted so hard she hit my ceiling fan. After that, I kind of like found a liking to her. Like, it's one of those things that like the thing that I liked about her was that she liked me. And I don't think most women get that. And that's like a lot of men. Most men like pretty fucking women. But like every woman in the world is fucking pretty. What else you do? Anything? Okay, so you just fuck? And are we going to do that all the time? No. When are we going to do that? Whenever you decide that okay, so it's going to be used to control me. Well, then fuck you. This is why you're single, ladies. You're welcome. I'm not saying that, like, you should just be a sex slave or some shit either. Unless you enjoy that, then Ray Ray's whorehouse has open positions. Unless you're into being tied up. I don't know. It's a complex thing. It is the nature of male female relationships that one of you is holding the other one down and sticking parts of your anatomy inside her until she has babies in her. Like, that is the facts. All the rest is window dressing. And that's why, on like a base human level, people don't like the culture we're in now. No one does. Everyone is unhappy. Okay? Like, I am happier than I would normally be. I'll freely admit that. I get to be me. But I'm choosing basically to use that to be a miserable bastard on the internet for my grandfather because I love him too. And I agree with him too on many things. And many of the things that we agree on is like some conservative libertarian don't tax me and stay the fuck out of my shit stuff. Some like constitutional stuff. Which is how you end up getting this like trans hooker that has like Captain America inside her somewhere. I don't know. That's literally what I got going on is like if I had my druthers, I wish we could just all go kill Nazis. I wish we had a beach to storm. I wish we had people to shoot in the face. Not that we like need that, but that's who I am. That's what I want. Some people aren't that. And if that's not you, then cool. But like I just want us to do something. And like I think a lot of people don't get that like I have been exercising and dieting and fucking doing a lot of other shit for the last 3 years now in an effort to be more fit for the end of the world, basically. And slash to be hot. Because like I wanted to transition and I wasn't gonna transition if I was gonna be an ugly bitch. That's these are the facts too. The thing that made me go from like I'm transitioning and not telling anyone about it to fuck it, I'm just dressing like a woman all the time and telling everyone to go get bent is when I saw how good I looked. I look better than I ever have. Like, I look better as a woman than I ever did as a man. I was meant to do this. I think there's something like genetically wrong with me. I don't know. But this is some of the stuff that like I want this channel to be about is like I think America deserves to hear an honest take of like what someone thinks about this shit. And I've already got most of what I think about everything out on the internet somewhere anyway. And I have a unique viewpoint in the trans community. And that's why I'd like more people to hear it, basically. It's not, oh, let's get famous, let's make money or whatever. It's no, I think people need to hear some of this shit. And that's why we are preaching officially. Like, I'm calling myself the prophet of Crom. This is the church of the rifle. It requires you to own guns, and in order to get into heaven, you have to own a machine gun that's legal that you didn't pay a $200 transfer tax on that isn't registered to you in your name. Joining the church, I would eventually like to cost money because whatever that money is. Imagine if the NRA, instead of being run by Wayne LaPierre in a fucking, you know, jet, is run by some trans bitch in a minivan that literally takes all of your money and just throws it at fucking their shit up in court cases. That's what I want. I want the money to fight them in the courts. And it looks like we're getting that no matter what because some people are taking shit to the Supreme Court and it's getting through. And this is a test of our republic. That's what's going on here. Either you have faith in the republic to restore itself or you don't. I don't know what I have anymore. It depends on how big the conspiracies are. At this point, it's not conspiracy theory world anymore. It's conspiracy fact world. We live in conspiracy fact world. It comes more conspiracy theories become facts every fucking day. And on that, I think I'm going to end this because I really don't know where to go from there. I keep looking at my multi-tools and I just want to talk about that because it's more fun than this topic. But this is 40 minutes almost of why I think Biden's going to resign and fuck us all. And I don't know. There was a bunch of shit about sex in there too because it's Monday night. I was going to say it's Saturday night. That should tell you how my week's going. It doesn't matter what day it is here. I, like Tartarus, am bound for hell, or whatever. No, I like Sisyphus and bound for hell. That's what the quote was. There's this like video of like a cat that just looks sad as fuck, and they put this like, "Hello, my name is Snurbles, and I like cat food, and my humans say that I am like Sisyphus and that I'm bound for hell." It was like a monotone voice saying that is it always struck me as very funny. So on that note, I'm going to leave you now. See you guys later.